Okay, hello my wonderful YouTubers. Aborted Soul brought this to my mind. He was talking about how I don't seem to really talk more about serious issues. I rather talk about, the drama going on YouTube at the time, blah, blah, blah. The reason I do that is because at the time, those are the videos I'm watching, and kind of it's in my head, like, okay, I want to, write stuff about this or whatever. Now, if I want to start with more serious issues, there's so many things going in my mind. For one, I do consider myself a left-winger. I am fully liberal. As for things such as abortion, that's another story for a different time, where I have my own issues, but I believe in certain circumstances it should be up to the woman. I do not ever like when I see people constantly thinking it's okay to get themselves in situations, especially teenagers, where they think they can have sex, get pregnant, get an abortion, nobody knows, and it's okay. I don't agree with that. However, I know there are certain situations where it is needed. However, the best thing to do is protect yourself. That wasn't the whole reason why I wanted to kind of go into this video. I was going to talk about religion, because I have my own certain views on it. I am Muslim. However, I have my own individual thoughts and ideas, and I believe that everybody of every faith has their own individual beliefs and ideas. That's what makes us human. That's what makes us unique. If we were all exactly the same, then we would be these annoying identical drones going through life, and it'd be incredibly boring. Because of course, maybe we wouldn't have war and ignorance and fear and such things, but I think it would be boring because you wouldn't have such different individual ideas. And I think that's what's the beauty of humanity and the beauty of the diversity of humanity. I like to tell people that I believe the idea of organized religion is a cult. That is my belief, because in every denomination, and I know for a fact this video is going to get a bunch of haters, and I was kind of trying to hold myself not to say this out loud to other people, but at the same time, I feel I need to. Because it's my own individual thoughts, and if you cannot accept it, then if you can't accept to say, I disagree with you, but I like your other things, everything else that you say, then you're not worthy of being somebody I can speak with. Because there are people I disagree with, but I respect them as a whole person. And I believe the idea of disagreeing with somebody and thinking that because you disagree with them, you have to automatically hate them, is the reason for wars, ignorance, just a whole bunch of racism. It's the idea of that, well, you're different than me, and therefore this difference has to be a wall between us, and I can't get past that. And it's ignorance, and a lot of times I think even the race themselves, they take into that belief that they're unique, and they try to make themselves different. And that's my own belief, because that's how stereotype comes out, where you see a lot of people actually acting out those stereotypes. Why? I'm rambling here. Anyway, so my belief is that organized religion is a cult. Why do I believe this? Well, for one, in any faith, and believe me, I know different faiths. When I was a child, I went to grade school at Catholic school, and at the same time, I went to Islamic school. So I know those two faiths in and out. And don't argue with me. I even got $100 for a religion award. Thank you. And that was in my Catholic school. Go figure. But I've seen it where in every faith, if, and maybe we could kind of go back to Violet Kitty's video. I mean, I adore her as a person. I hope she does not take offenses and hates me for it. I'm sorry. I do love her as a person. But when I was hearing more and more about her idea of persecution, Christians being persecuted, let's see, and then her idea of what makes a person Christian, when she said that, it made me think about the whole idea of the cult kind of aspect, where it's like, in every denomination you have the people who eye everybody else and say, you're not perfect. You can't say that you're part of this religion because you don't do such and such and such and such and such. And every religion does that. Every single, I don't know about Buddhism, but at least the 3 main religions, they do this. They do this. And it's sad because it's like, I think somebody else, what was his name? I know I friended him, and I'm very sorry to him that I can't remember his name, but Sir, I think Senior John Bosco, I think. I'm probably butchering his name, and I apologize. He said something really great. It just made me, of course he seems a very Christian, but when I watched his video, I really respected him. I really did. And then I saw Violet Kitty's comments to him, and I kind of was like, I still adore her. I do. Her comments kind of made me a little like, why are you attacking him? He really is saying some good stuff here. What he said really makes me say, you're not God. How do you know what they're doing is or isn't Christian, which is correct? How do we all know this? We're not God, but yet we always believe that, like with the Muslims, well, if you're wearing a short skirt and you're sitting there flirting with a guy, then you're a slut, and you're doing this, and you're bad, and God doesn't like you. And then same thing with Christians. You don't go to church every day, and you don't sit there and read the Bible every day. God hates you. Who are we to judge? Who are we? I mean, do we have special conversations with God every day? I mean, it's just, people are so judgmental of each other, and that's what leads to wars. That's what leads to hate. That's what leads to fear of other people, because you can't sit there and say, you're different than me, but I want to learn what's about you. You want to, learn what's about me, and I want to learn what's about you. And we could disagree on things, but that's what's made that, I can't talk. That is what makes us different. Just the fact that we can think differently, and we have these complex minds. I mean, I love cats, I love animals, but, they all act the same way. We don't all act the same way. We have the basic similarities that, we have to eat and drink to live. We have to breathe oxygen. We go to the bathroom. We have to be clean, all these basic similarities. But then our thoughts are what makes us this kind of higher chain among the, this higher chain among the mammals. Because we have such a complex brain. We can develop so many different complex thoughts. We can, think about the future. We can think about, our views on politics, our views on religion. I don't know a bird, because I don't really personally talk to birds, but last time I don't think they personally have elections and stuff like that. I mean, that's what makes us humans. That's what makes us unique. And that's what makes us unique amongst each other. And, it's just sad that we have to sit there and be critical. Even among those within us, there are still those who believe they're higher than the others. And they criticize everybody else. They say, well, you can't say you're Christian, or you can't say you're Muslim, or you can't say you're Jewish because you don't do such and such. And then they become hypocritical, because I've seen some I've seen some Christians. I've seen some Muslims. Haven't seen any Jews. Somebody can get back to me on that. So, but I've seen Christians and Muslims both, praising everybody else, or their parents praising how they go to church every day, or how they go to the mosque every day, and then at the same time, you see them doing things behind the backs of their parents, or doing other things, And then there's somebody like me. I don't wear the veil. I don't do everything exactly blah, blah, blah. However, I do take the Muslim beliefs in. Because there are some wonderful beliefs in there. And, and Christians have wonderful beliefs as well. And Jewish have wonderful, but I would love to one day see in the future all three get together, and then, everybody, each individual has their own belief, but the one whole idea that we do have something similar amongst those three. In comparison, there are like the hundreds of religions around, but nobody's ever gonna get that. But whatever. I rambled, don't I? But I mean, I've seen it where they act so hypocritical, and it's like the elite within the religion, and it bothers me, because who are you to say you're better than somebody? You say God is all forgiving, and you preach about being a good person. So what gives you the right to be critical of others, of anybody? And this goes for Christians, and this goes for Muslims, and I'm pretty sure that they're probably the hypocrites in the Jewish community as well, because they're everywhere. There's always those people, the elite people, that think they're just better than everybody. And, like they sit there, or, when they view gays, or people have abortions, and it's like, they say, oh, they're horrible, and they're sinful, and it's like, who said that you're a bad person? You talk about God being loving and doing the good things in life, so why do you view these people with hatred? Why do you view them in such a bad light? Shouldn't you be open to everybody? I mean, like it's one thing when you look hatefully on somebody who's done a bad crime, like a pedophile or a rapist, or somebody, even then it's kind of like, well, we have to look at their history, but at the same time, they've done something horrendous. But what has a gay person done that's been horrendous? They love somebody who's the same sex, and they've done it consensually? I mean, is that such a bad thing? It's not like they're sitting there raping random people, I don't know. But yeah, my initial thought, the whole religion idea, I don't like the elitists. I really don't. Don't like their views. I mean, of course, as individuals, I like them. But when people get pushy like that bothers me. Because it's just, you shouldn't really put your eye on people and view what they should believe if you're not exactly God yourself. And the only God is Jesus Christ God. Okay? He's like the only God, and like he's on YouTube, and okay, if you're not him, then like you can't tell me what to do. Okay? No, I'm joking. That's a joke. I really don't believe he's God. I think he's funny, but I don't believe he's God. Okay, yeah. I think I made this video really long, so I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to try to get into more, more kind of serious topics, world-renowned type topics. Like I think Aborted Soul mentioned something like global warming and stuff like that. I'll try to do more things on that. Though I've been saying to people for years that global warming is going on, because you can sense it in the weather. I don't want to put too many things in this video, because I want to try to give this video one whole theme and not make it jump all over the place, because sometimes I can be random and jump all over the place. But yeah, I hope I don't offend too many people. I mean, like, this is just my belief. You can agree to disagree, but don't just, like, hate me. because of it, because that's kind of proving my point, that when people decide that they hate somebody else because of their views, that's just kind of dumb, because you can really, like, to be mature and to be adult, you really need to accept that you're gonna think different than me, but I respect you for other things. I mean, unless the person's completely, like, corrupted in their head and they're just annoying, and then you can hate them. No. I preach peace. Love for everybody. Even though I can be a bitter old person sometimes, but, yeah. I think once we get past that whole initial belief that we can agree to disagree, maybe it will get rid of some things, like war and hatred and whatever. However, I don't believe that humanity is capable of that, because there's always just going to be some level of jealousy, some level of ignorance, and, all that kind of stuff, that people are just never going to want to see the outside of the box. They're never going to want to see that. That's my personal belief, but, yeah. Hope you guys like my more serious thoughts. Hopefully there'll be more of those soon. Yeah, love you. Bye.